Good morning, lads. My name is Ace Karmacat, and today I'm doing a video that I believe is probably 4 or 5 months overdue. So, for those who don't know, I'm helping out a user known as the Clickbait Master with his series Adventures on the Rails, which is a Thomas Wynn Railway series that's sort of an amalgamation between a few other creators to include myself, the Clickbait Master, Sudgerin Gaming, and quite a few others. And as part of that series, I have a few custom models that we use in the episodes, and I don't think we've actually done an episode that involves this character yet. But in any case, I was supposed to do this quite a while ago, so this is sort of the unofficial Killdane's custom video for custom model of Bear. So as I'm sure everyone knows, Bear, aka D7101, was introduced in the Railway series in the book Enterprising Engines in the story Super Rescue. He and D199 come to the Railway, and D199 is a great big jerk, essentially. Whereas D7101 is a bit nicer, and as the story goes, D199 breaks down while pulling a long train of fuel tankers, and Henry has to pull him. And at the same time, he has to help Bear, or D7101 at the time, with his train. So D7101 is pulling an express train, and he's growling the whole time, which is kind of where he gets his nickname. So Henry helps move D199 and his fuel tankers while he gives Bear a push while he's pulling this express train to the station. I forget which station they go to. And it's kind of funny, because this is actually the first version of D199 that we used for this custom model of Bear. I have another one here for reference. This one is missing its back two wheels, but aside from that, it's really just the same model. This one I know for certain is dated 1996. I actually don't know the date on this one, but as you can see, this one is in pretty rough shape. It was like this when I got it off eBay, and I knew that it was missing the back two wheels because my first thought was, oh, I could use this to make a Bear custom, but no. But I did know that's how it was going to come when I placed the order. There were a few other really good pieces that were included in that lot. But funny thing is that my older sister, she's actually the one, I just noticed there's some cat hair on top of Bear here. My older sister is actually the one who painted this. This was sort of a group effort. She views this as this was like, I did half the work and she did the other half of the work. I don't really view it that way, but she views it that way because what you see on screen right now is a picture of D199 and Ivo Hugh. These two models she picked up when she went to a peddler's mall or something. It was some sort of secondhand store, which is where she got them. So as you can see, they were already pretty beaten up, and I wanted to take this model of Bear, or this model of D109, excuse me, and turn it into a custom of Bear. But in order to do that, to make things easier, we decided to sand him down. So we had sandpaper, but I think we had a sander, but we just couldn't find it. Another thing I should probably point out is that we did this when we were out of town, so normally I have a sander here, but we were out of town visiting someone else's house, so they had sandpaper, but not a sander. So I had to sand him by hand, and I got, as you can see by the pictures here, most, if not all of the paint off. Well, actually, yeah, most. I know I didn't get all of the paint off. Tip, if anyone wants to do this themselves, if you guys want to do anything like that, get the sandpaper a little bit wet first so that whatever paint you're sanding doesn't go flying everywhere and cause you to cough and sneeze like it did to me, because I ended up having to wet it down. Yeah, but my older sister really hates the sound that sandpaper makes when you're sanding something, so she had me do that, and then she did most of the painting. And I've done custom work like this before, I've done things like this with my sisters before. We've done customs, like people asked in the Scout review video. my Team Fortress 2 action figures of the Scout. I took one and had his shirt painted blue. I didn't really do anything about the pants because I didn't think it was that big of a deal. But a lot of people ask me what type of paint I used, and for the Scout, I actually don't know. For this guy, I used a few different. We used a few different shades, but I think this might have been what we used for the black. We got this from Michael's Craft Smart matte acrylic paint, and it's called Black/Noir. Now, obviously, that wasn't the only color that we got, and actually, I don't think this is the exact one because I think I actually left the paint and the brushes that we grabbed from Michael's while we were out of town with my older sister. I was like, here, you'll get more use out of these than I will. So I actually don't know what kind of paint exactly we used to make this. But I know we certainly did have a lot of fun. Doing the lettering and the numbering on his sides here was definitely a task and a half. I actually used a paint pen for that, which paint pens, it's kind of big. I can't really, I mean, I can write small, just not with paint pens, and this was about as small as I could get with the paint pens, with it being legible, so there's not too much fancy detail here. We did use tape. I did, try and tape, little squares, little open squares. I don't know why the camera's having trouble focusing, but I did try and paint, or tape, little open squares so we could just, paint black squares on a big black rectangle to make it sort of look like he has doors. We made it quite different from the way how D199 is actually set up compared to Bear, because I know Bear is a completely different shape, and I know that there are some people who have done things to fill in this top part here, the front of his cab, I suppose is what this is called, where it's shaped a little bit differently. I'll see if I can find a picture somewhere of maybe the Trains model that some people use for their Trains videos. But on the other side, it's pretty much the same. These windows are a little bit closer together, and then the top I did entirely. All the detailing on the top was done with Sharpie. Now, originally, I wanted to just leave the roof alone, and we just paint everything else, sort of like how Keekray did. Thomas Wynn Railway did a custom model on this, and I know that whoever he had do it, I want to say it was Hero the Japanese Train, I'm probably wrong, but they just left the roof alone and just painted everything else around it, and I kind of wanted to do that too. But the roof, as you can see from some of the pictures, well, I don't know if you'll be able to tell from the pictures, I'm gonna have to edit all of this after I'm filming, so I don't know what pictures actually show the proper angles, but I'm pretty sure the roof wasn't really in the best condition for us to just leave it alone and paint everything else. The backside I also did in Sharpie. I just did the AC-10 on the back of his on his back, I suppose. There's actually nothing on the old style D199, but on the new style one, not to be confused with the 2013 one, that actually is what it says right here. As you can see, AC-10, and this is definitely a much better representation of D199. But this is my custom model of Bear, and I'm actually quite happy with it. It's one of those things where I said I've been wanting to do for ages, and then we finally did it. And it's been ages now since we finally did it, and I never made a video about it. But I've definitely used them in videos before. I've used them in my own layout tour videos. And I've also done certain things with him for Adventures on the Rails that you guys will just have to wait and see, I'm afraid. Shush shush. In any case, this has been, I guess, a Killdane's custom video on my Thomas Wynn Railway custom Bear. I hope this was worth the wait for some of you, and thank you all for watching.